What's up, guys? I'm just waiting for some people to pop on. How's everybody doing this morning? I'm just checking a couple of messages real quick. We're going to have a really great 45 minutes of training. I got some video or some screens I'm going to pull up. We're going to talk about the map, networking, what you should be doing right now. A lot of different things I want to talk about because stuff's pretty freaking gloomy. And I'm really trying to start focusing on some good educational pieces that we have going on while we're building our company. And I want to focus on some good stuff. So just hang out, share the screen, give me like 2 seconds, and I will be right there. How's everybody's weekend? What did you guys do this weekend? Type in the comments. What did you guys do this weekend? Did you do that for your trucking business, or did you turn it all off and go and take a break? Went fishing. It's probably Frank. I went. I will go fishing this weekend. Me and Melissa. All right, cool. All right, we're ready. All right, cool. So, what all did you guys do this weekend? Welcome to Shaggy's Consulting and Training. Tim, right on, man. What's up, Tim? You know, it's crazy because with my software, I can't really see the names yet. I don't know why it's like that with EvaMux, and I've had two or three different ones, and it always makes it difficult to see stuff. Guys, welcome to Shaggy's Consulting and Training. I just wanted to, I hope you guys had a really great weekend. I hope you're really working on your business right now. It's tough times. I wanted to come on and give you some tips this morning to help you. Welcome to Coffee with Shaggy. If you guys don't know, we do compliance, safety, consortium, drug testing. We have a whole compliance company. We have a whole brokerage, and the team is rocking. We have so much freight with flatbeds right now. If you guys have flatbeds all over the United States, you guys need to hit us up at 812-870-2039 or go to Shaggy's Logistics or hit Isaiah's up, or we got links posted everywhere in the group. Get a packet filled out with us so we know what size trucking company you guys have so we can help you. We got some dry van freight. We're looking for I think Justin's got looking for a dry van customer that wants some 25 to 35,000 pound loads. They want assets direct. We're finding a lot of customers right now really only want assets. It's kind of crazy. And they really want assets right now more than like brokers. It's crazy, right? So if you guys get a chance, share the video. If you guys need help one on one about anything that I'm talking about in this next 45 minutes, you're more than welcome to give me a call, set up a one on one. Let's help your trucking business. Let's help your trucking company. Let's help your brokerage. Maybe it's your dispatching, man. There's all kinds of stuff going on, right? So, all kinds of stuff going on. All right. So, when times are tough, what do? You got like 25% of the companies, man, are growing, maybe more. You got 25 to 30% of companies going out of business. They're lost. They're starving. Can't find drivers. Company trucks, they can't jump in. They're driving. Trucks sitting, so their profits are going anywhere. And then you got another probably 50%, 40 to 50%, give or take a percentage, that are out there trying to keep their lights on. They're not doing anything. I bet you they don't even turn on the news right now. Let alone, they're not on Facebook because everything's quiet. They might be on TikTok laughing at pictures, catching stuff coming through. Instagram's slow as hell. No one knows what's going on. It's just this big old funk. We're just maintaining, right? It's like putting out the fuse, keep moving, maintaining. So, in this time that we're in right now, what should we be doing? If we're a trucking company with trucks, sometimes we're a broker, or if we're a dispatching company, Because everything that we were doing with freight chasing and running all over the place is not any fun anymore. Now we're starting to realize what we should be doing. The things that we should be paying attention to, right? Like how we should have did this, we should have did that, but we didn't. We should have made more calls, but we didn't. We should have went after customers and made lists, but we didn't. We didn't, right? And for you guys that are new, you don't need a lot of technology, right? Just simple load boards. DAT 123 truck stop, select us, my freight, find loads, parade, whatever it is. Central dispatch. eCarrierCheck.com. These are all tools that make us money. They get people to know who we are. They tell people what we want. But if we don't use them in the right way, it doesn't work, right? And so it's crazy. It's crazy how people get caught up, right? And Jared eCarrier Check was talking about my map the other day. And it's so crazy how this map, how important this map is right here, right? This map, all these regions on this map. And we get so caught up because all we want to do is run around and freight chase. We don't have no plan on this map at all. You know what I mean? We get caught up with the way the spot market works. You know, we get caught up with the Christmas trees, the flowers, the plants, the produce, the apples, the cherries, the flowers, the racks, the flower pots. You know, we get caught up with the cycles and we don't understand. We get caught up chasing what the load boards tell us. We get dictated by the spot market because if you go to DAT, you look at posted trucks, you go to the load board and see the double posted and the freight's not available. Then you go to eCarrier Check and you look at 75 million or 75,000 plus brokers. You look at all the customers and then you look at all the carriers that are in the area. There's like, what, 7 million plus power units out there? Like, holy shit. That's a lot of trucks. So you start thinking about your product and what you're doing right now. Are you just freight chasing? Like, in these regions right here on this map, right here, are you just chasing the seasons? Are you running for California to the East Coast? Are you in Yuma and Salinas right now where the margins are down? What are you chasing? Onions right now? Are you going after potatoes? Well, what are you doing? Did you just move to see the Girl Scout cookies, the line? Are you getting ready to costume? Are you moving 4th of July stuff? Are you moving lawnmowers? Did you get in on the lawnmowers? Are you moving yard ornaments? Are you moving hot sauce, power only trailers, solar panels? What are you doing? What is your niche? And how are you moving it? Are you moving it local, dedicated? Or are you moving it regional where you stay in a certain area? Or are you going all over the place? Like literally, like are you running down here right now? Are you getting stuck down through here? You know what I mean? What are you doing right now? Are you running this area right here? Are you getting stuck out here? You're in Denver. Are you chasing this stuff? Because everything's so slow. And so are you one of those ones that runs from like March, April, May until January, and then when January stops, you shut down your truck. You hope the market changes. What are you doing? Or are you guys building contracts, dedicated lanes? Because it's hard, right? You start looking at this map to be able to sit there and think about this region right here, the Northeast, right? You look at it, how easy you can get caught up in these regions, the up in New Hampshire, the New England states, and then you got this area right here where it's game, and then the boroughs, right? And the 5 boroughs. Those 3 sections are crazy, right? Like, and so many people get caught up because they think they got to make money leaving or coming back because when they get money leaving, it doesn't pay. And then if the markets change, dictated by the load boards, and then it flips coming in and out at certain times, or it never really changes. It's always shitty coming out, going in, and we always get caught up doing that Florida, Texas, Northeast, that triangle because we think that's the best way to stay in money. But then when you really start thinking about it and you go in here and you look and you can start picking certain cities that you want to run in this one little area, and you don't even have to go to the bad area. You just kind of start building like a bow tie in these areas, and you start working all those cities and 100 mile around it, and you start building a product that's staying specific in that area. But then you got to be able to tell people that you're in that area, right? That's the hard part. That's the part that makes sense without chasing freight. Because how can you not service somewhere? It took me forever to start learning about the different areas in these maps, like where you don't have to go to these areas, right? Where you draw the line and you put an X on Dallas, and you look at all these areas in this map, how this area right here only is good for 3 months out of the year, and then you start learning about how all these different regions start playing together. And why do we leave them when there's so much product going in those regions? When you're dictated by the spot market, but do you ever take time to look and see what's actually right in front of you? Do you take time to let people know what you want with your type of equipment? Do you know what to do with customers when you have them? Do you know how to service them more than, you know, what you need, like the building a product, right? Like that's trucking. This whole freight for all freight chasing. Pick your regions. Do you work in zone one, two, three, four, five, and then when you're in these zones, do you need to leave it? Is there some reason why you have to go from zone two to zone three, or zone three to zone four one, or zone four Wild West? I mean, you don't live out there. Is there some reason you need to go over there, or did you want to be home on weekends, stay pre-planned, make a living for once? You know what I mean? That's what most people I know want, a paycheck, right? Consistent paycheck, and then how do I cover that paycheck if I can't work? That's the idea, because when I can't work, it sucks. Sucks relying on others. So how do I do that? You know what I mean? I have this map. DAT spot market doesn't do nothing for you. It's your map. This is your map you put on your wall. And where are you going to run? Are you going to run this area right here, right there, across the bottom and up 81 and stay in that area right there? Are you going to build a product where you run from Amarillo to Houston, Houston into the Midwest and back down? Or are you going to add it more over this way? And then are you going to run everywhere, or are you going to start building specific lanes, going from one place to the next and do it in volume so you can know your numbers? Philly is a mess right now. I bet it is. So let's think about this, right? So how do we start building this network? Because how do you start building this network? And so let's go over that real quick. I'm going to keep educating you guys, and you can listen, share the video, whatever you need. I know a lot of people are gloomy and people don't care, but I'm going to try to give you some tips. All right. So then we start thinking about share. So then we start thinking about DAT, right? So you go to DAT load board and you look at it. And you look at right here, we put Indianapolis for a 150 mile radius for today. And it says there's 825 trucks on here. And a lot of these guys, most of these guys that are posting, probably 20% of them will put a destination. And they'll only do it for today when they're empty. They don't do it any other time, just today when they're empty. That's it. They don't tell people. If I need, as a customer or broker, need to find trucks, I have to go to software and find trucks to know what they're doing. I'm not going to go to eCarrier Check. Hell, none of you guys even call brokers now ahead of time because we don't get no calls. We're a broker, Shaggy's Logistics. We have freight. No one calls us looking for freight. It's weird. Like, we're on a list. You can find us anywhere. But no one proactively calls. It says, my name is Jim. I have these trucks, and I would like for you to sell for me. If you get stuff I need, give me a call. They don't do that. Nope. It's crazy. It's like we all live in a cave. So if you go to DAT, it says there's 825 loads, or trucks looking for loads. If you guys go to Indianapolis and you look up loads, you look up loads in that same scenario I just did. In that same scenario, it says there's 41 loads right now. Let's see if we got the last 24 hours. So that's all that's on there. 40 loads. 40 loads. 825 trucks, 40 loads. Then you go over here and you look up, you go to find trucks by location on e-carrier check. And you type in Indianapolis. And you do the same radius of 150 miles. And you do dry van, right? And we'll do all different size carriers. Right? We'll do that. And we'll go right back over here. And we'll look and see how many dry van carriers are in the area. So it shows me that there is 513 pages times 25 trucks to a page. It's 12,825 carriers in Indianapolis right now in a 150-mile radius. Only maybe 160 loads that are on the load board for today. And there's 825 trucks, which most of them don't even know where they're going. How crazy is that? That's crazy, guys. Crazy. 12,800 some odd carriers. It says right there. How many carriers? 513 pages within 150 miles of Indianapolis by location that do drive-in freight. So if the numbers are like that across the United States, depending on volume towards load boards, and then what is a load board doing for you? How are you reaching these people? So what I would do if you in your spare time while you guys are out here trying to do whatever you're doing, I'd change my plan. And I'd use your load board, 1, 2, 3, truck stop, DAT, right? And what I would do is I'd start searching and posting with direction. So first thing you do is pick the city you live in, draw a 150-mile radius around it. Next thing you do is pick a couple of dedicated. Go 150 to 300 miles out. Pick a major city, draw a 100-mile radius around it, and turn around and post coming right back. Do 3 of those. And then pick some cities that are 3 to 500 that go in 4 different directions around you. One that way, one that way, one that way, that way. And turn around and bring them right back to you, and then connect them together. And you'll see that you start building like this routing, right? Depending on where you're from. You might be the ending, or you might be in the middle. Start taking those cities and post them all over the place. And do it 30 to 60 days out. Even though you don't need the freight, start building the lanes while you're still running your company. Build a simple spreadsheet where your trucks are getting empty. Make sure you set it up. And when you do it, you can do it by different trucks, different types. This is free. It's on Excel. You don't have to spend a lot of money on software. You just make your little sheet so you always know where all of them are at one time, either like a notebook or in front of you, where they're getting empty so you don't waste a lot of time and you're always on it. And then I always like putting too on my empty sheet, their destination, what time. It keeps it real simple for me. Oh, special instructions, what route they're running, where they're located, and their schedule. And then I have an information sheet because I don't like flipping back through stuff. I like seeing everything really fast. So I put all my drivers, Kevin, the drivers, the phone numbers, truck trailer, MC number, a couple abbreviations for brokers I work with, their VIN, their DOT, the name of the carrier, their home, their 7-day plan. Everybody's like, what's a 7-day plan? Well, everybody has a minimum number per mile, minimum number per day, and a minimum number to meet truck, trailer, fuel, fixed cost, insurance, and escrow, and their paycheck. And that I like to break down those 7, 8 numbers of cost of operations and have a certain average I know I'm going to meet, because I don't care what everybody else is making, and I don't care what the brokers are leaving or keeping. I care what I need to do and how I'm going to add that value to other owner operators that fit my program. That's what I care about. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else. You guys might care about other stuff. I don't. And then my type of equipment, home, week, and stay out. You know, when you do this networking, you guys want to remember there's 3 types of brokers that you're going to deal with when you're networking. Whether it's e-carrier check or your load board type freight, load board system. The one is going to be the guy that all you have to do is talk to him. He won't hold a conversation with you, and he always wants to put everything on the load board. They don't have no networking, no email, nothing. Guys, stop working with those guys. They're not going to pay you. Just because their freight pay is good doesn't mean they're a good fit. Stop killing yourself, because by the time you get double brokered on, not paid, or ripped off, all that time you go through, you're wasting money and sacrificing because you didn't credit check the right way or use a good broker. That it sucks. I mean, I hear these stories every day, all the time. So there's three brokers that you're going to run with. One is the one you don't want to work with. The guy that's from some other place. He doesn't speak English. His name's a different name. He just wants to put it all on the low board. It's one and done freight anyways. You know what I mean? There's like no status of relationship. Then your second one is your Coyote, C.H. Robinson, Allen Led, Spot Mark, Fitzmark, Sunset, Arnold, whoever, Edge, whatever. There's a ton of them. I can name them off all day long. These are networking brokers. You know what I mean? They're there because they have high volumes, but a lot of times they only care when it's good. They don't care when it's bad. And you got when people that are listening to this video, there's always two types of carrier. One that's always looking for the opportunity to get a customer no matter how he has to get it. And he wants to build local dedicated runs with relationships. And there's people that just want to free for all it. I get it. So if you want to free for all it, then you're probably not going to understand what I'm saying when I'm talking right now. You know what I mean? But if you really want to build a level of a network and know who's moving what, and build relationship brokers that are feeding what you want, and you're building this in a certain area that you need to be, because right now it's hard. So we have to close in on our map and start working where we live instead of everywhere, right? Build something we can sell to carriers that come work for us, not something that's a free-for-all at a really low percentage, because that's the way we think it works. It doesn't work that way. Higher percentage, better product, less headache. Or don't. I don't care. All right. So the last part that I do is I have my customers right here. Oops. The customers that I'm working right here, I keep a simple spreadsheet right here, because I could be on an email list from a broker and see a customer I want to call. I could be on a phone with a broker that called me we're not signed up with, and the guy says, he tells me everything about it. I'm sitting there going, well, he needs trucks. This customer's down the road. Why don't I just do a little more research and take care of that myself, or at least try to, right? Make that call. The broker told you the name of the shipper, the commodity. He's bidding the contract. He has no trucks. It's 2 loads a week. You asked if they have any more than that. No, it's New Start. It's the only project they have. And you still don't take the time to go after it. You know what I mean? Times people are like, brokers say they won't use it in 90 days, and they told you everything about the load, but you didn't make the second call. What do you mean? Call the customer and get the load. You're not even signed up with a broker yet, and you're already worried about back soliciting. Oh, you don't know what to do with the customer if you did get it. Got it. That could be a problem. Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, and then I have my networking emails. Which are the relationship right here, where I set up 2 sheets. The one is the broker that sends out emails, has an internal load board, doesn't want to put the freight on the load boards, but they do 2 or 3 other forms before it gets there. And the last part's the relationship, right? Well, so if I go in, I post 30 to 60 days out specific lanes from St. Louis to Indy, or Indy to Cleveland, Cleveland to Charlotte, Charlotte to Indy, Indy to Minnesota, Minnesota to Charlotte, Charlotte to Minnesota to Kansas City, Kansas City to Cleveland, and I start building these lanes, or in the Southeast, vice versa. I'm going to start networking. I need to build a way to bring inbound calls of freight that doesn't hit the load board and let people know exactly what I want. Well, how do you do that freight chasing? It's crazy, because when you go to e-carrier, so you go to the load board, right? And when you're on here, scoping for loads and you see one that you certainly want, start checking the lanes. Add a destination in here. Put Indianapolis to Charlotte. Right? And start figuring out what areas have the best lanes of freight right now. And remember, what you see on the load board is not what's really out there. So we're going to post this too. So not only are we going to search this lane, we're going to post the lane, and we're going to put it out 30 to 60 days so guys like mine can go see your truck saying that you're looking for volume between Indy and Charlotte. Does that make sense? I would stop and take a breath for questions, but I want to keep going, right? So post, and I know you guys don't need this freight yet. But if you had the freight, would you move to it? If you had the lanes that you could work, would you go after it? Would you convert to it? Well, how can you convert to it if you don't find it? And if you're only looking for today and tomorrow, how are you ever going to build anything if you're not doing this? This is what you should be doing between 12 and 4 every day when it's dead. Networking, finding customers that fit your product. Where? Drive-in. Where? Midwest. When? Local, dedicated, regional. How much do you need? A lot. I get it. If you're one truck, then it shouldn't be that hard, because if you're a one truck, then it should only take 2 or 3 brokers on both ends and you're done. You don't need a low board no more. If you're growing your company, you should always be adding more and more and more. Never enough. So once you start building your lanes, go and post them right here. And then when you're on here, it's simple, guys. Just go out and click this little button right here. On all the load boards, they're all the same. And go out 2 months. Light it up, right? Let everybody know you're in that lane on the posting and the searching, and start see how much volume they have. Let every broker that has a load in that lane tell you about their customer. It either goes in your networking or it goes in your relationship. If they're feeding you what you want, it's a friend. If they're not feeding you what you want, it's potential. It could be a customer. That's the world we live in. It's one way or the other. Am I making sense? I don't even know how many people are watching. I don't really care. I just want to keep putting videos out there and give you content, so you know what to do. You guys think about it. The next coolest thing on the map is now that you start finding right here, you got find carriers, find brokers, and find shippers. This is the craziest crap, because I can go on here on eCarryCheck, type any shipper I want, and actually click the shippers in my area, and then click on the shipper and find out what carriers they're working with to see if I might have a potential chance. Man, I can even call the carriers to tell them the customer and see if they're working with a broker that I need to find. Not all brokers post loads. They don't want to. It's a hassle. Especially if you're a broker with new credit. No one wants to use you. So you go here on here and find shippers, right? In your area, Indianapolis. You could go and put them in it. Once you find them by location, you put them in spreadsheets. You can go right here and find brokers in Indianapolis. You can build spreadsheets. You can build templates. You can send out emails. You can take their phone numbers, upload them into a CSV, and text blast them. You can email them directly by name of the owner of the brokerage. Say, hey, I was looking for Sam. My name's Shaggy. I got flatbeds right down the road for you. If you guys land a flatbed customer, we love running the Midwest. Please get a hold of me. You know what I mean? Or I email carriers and say, hey, I noticed you're in the area of my customer. You guys looking for volume flatbed freight? And then boom. Or I can text blast. These carriers say, hey, we have freight in your area. There's so many. I can call, I can email, and I can text blast. It's all right here. I can research brokers. I can research carriers. Did you know I can research carriers in an area and find out what customers they're shipping from and where they're running just by what they do? Like, where are they going? And it's cool too, because if you use my buddy's trucking company, right, where you type in Money Penny Trucking, right? I just found it. It's like you just find a random trucking company in a parking lot, right? And you go look them up. See, and then you just find them in it. Just type in their name right there, and it shows you. And this one's at risk. He's got 34 inspections. Well, you might not want to use this guy because he got a crash, and it looks like he's missing his insurance. But see, this would tell you about this guy, right? So you go down here. I didn't know that. So then you look at where the guy's running, and you see his model. And now look at, they run all over the place. And then you guys go down here and it shows right here. He's working for this company, Alex Land, SAC. They're pulling for the Army. They're pulling for JD Buick's work. He's pulling for United Rentals. And it just starts giving you more stuff. And then you can look up the customers. There's just so many different things that you could be doing. And then on this software site, as long as you're on, and then while you're on DAT, when you're on DAT, you're on the posting side and you're posting the same lanes that you're working by location. You're posting those out 30 to 60 days. Now, what's going to happen is these people are going to start calling you because you're giving them specifically what you want now. You're telling them over and over, I might be a little guy, I might be a big guy, but I have trucks in the area, and you're doing it in campaigns like use MailChimp and use the free version and set up 50 guys or 60 guys in your campaign and blast them out. We are here all the time in this area looking for volume. Are you guys really willing to do the work, or you guys really just want to jump on the low boards and do it? You know what I mean? Like, are you guys going to understand what you do with customers when you get them, or are you just going to keep playing around? Are you guys going to understand why company trucks don't work? Or are you guys going to uh, bring on owner operators, diversify? What are you going to do with your business? Are you going to keep freight chasing because you're one, two, three trucks running all over the place and then going home once every month, or because you think that's the way you're supposed to do it? Or are you going to actually start working and training your wife or your family member to be in here and send out 30 to 100 emails a day of freight, or two? I send out like 600. Are you going to start building lanes or just chasing? Are you going to start looking for the volume ahead and have people call you and pick and choose what you want that fits your script and setting those loads up 2 to 3 weeks out? Or are you worried about tomorrow? And I get it. It's really hard because when brokers cancel on you or you're chasing freight, it makes it hard because there's no consistency. There's no volume. You're not doing the same thing all the time. But by the time you get running and by the time you get going, all volume's all you want. Consistency is what you want. It gives you less problems with your drivers. You can sell the product. You know what you're doing. You're building something. And when you're in the same places all the time, it opens up opportunity for you to get customers if you know what to do with them. Most people don't know what to do with them. Or, you know what I mean? I mean, if you go into an asset base where they're set up to be able to pay multiple carriers, that's one thing, right? But if you go into a customer where they play the markets and when there's more freight than trucks, it's one way. If there's less freight than trucks, you better be able to take care of more than what you can, or they're going to cut you, right? For the guy that does the most. Or maybe they won't. If you're in this trucking business, take the time to learn a lot. Learn this, learn that, learn how to build a network, learn posting with directions, learn how to use e-carrier check, learn how to do research, learn what to talk, learn how to talk. A lot of us are only good at talking for ourselves. Talking to others, making them understand to work my product, because you have to have a team. Do you have a team? Is your compliance company helping you? Does your insurance guy talk to you before more than what you need? Like, does he actually call and work with you and give you ideas, help you grow? Is your compliance company proactive? On Wednesday we're going to come back on, and I'll be on about 9 o'clock again, and we're going to talk about if you don't have a product, then what's wrong with the rest of your company? You wonder why you can't recruit? There you go. You wonder why you can't maintain drivers? No wonder why you can't hire? Wonder why you feel like you're running around in a circle with your head cut off? Because it's two parts. One is having a product, a local, dedicated, and a regional, and leave the freight chasing for everybody else. So you can have a product. You can sell your customers, sell brokers, and sell your carriers to come work for you, whether it's dispatching, whether it's owner operators, or whether it's drivers. Drivers don't stay because only the bad ones want inconsistency. There's guys that are new to the business that don't know nothing, the ones that are divorced, broken, bankrupt, that shit golden turds, and they're the baddest motherfucker in hell, but they own factoring companies, they owe this person, and you don't know why it happened, but they know everybody, right? And then there's the guys that all they want to do is buy a truck, pay for a truck, work for somebody, maybe make a little extra and do it for 50 weeks straight and do it over and over and over and go camping, have a life, know what their wife was, get laid once in a while, and you know what I mean? And whatever, Those guys are out there. How do you sell to those guys when you have no product? Let's talk. Call the phone number 812-870-239. Check us out. We'll be glad to help you. Let's do a one-on-one consulting. Let's go over your business plan. Let's understand how to build a network, how to set up spreadsheets, how to find out the type of equipment you want instead of jumping from one to the next, and how to go make those calls. How to go in person. If my guys are sitting over here doing it in a group and they're getting action, and I see it every day, then why aren't you? Do you guys use e-carrier check to find out what carriers in your area are doing, brokers in your area are doing, and customers, and who they're working with? Or do you just sit on load boards? If you're on the load board, do you always search for the day and tomorrow? Or are you looking at for every lane 30 to 60 days out and who's got it? And telling people. Nonstop. Sending out emails. Specifically. Going through your load list of campaigns that you're getting from all these network brokers that have loads. Because remember, you always have those two emails. One's for your relationships and business. The other one is for networking and stuff that you may or may not want, but you don't want it congested. In those emails in the morning, how many of you highlighted and called the broker back to find out more details? And then from there made a decision whether you want to put it on your customer list or you want to go direct. How many shippers have you looked up in your area on e-carrier check, or which has Google and everything, and actually attempted to call and see if they'll work with you direct? How many calls have you made? How many brokers and shippers do you network with daily and tell them what you're looking for? How many emails do you send out? How many text blasts? How many phone calls do you make? Because I know most of you brokers out there, you're sitting there that are new in your first year, and if you're not calling carriers and onboarding them with something specific to offer them, then you're not getting nothing done. And we'll do that. We'll have a class on that too, onboarding carriers. That's going to be a good one. So I've been on here 38 minutes. I hope you guys love the information. I know it's kind of sporadic. I'm not good with all this software, but I really wanted you to think about why people are going out of business, why people are trying to keep the lights on. And I wanted to give you something different than just posting your trucks this morning, waiting for somebody to call, and then that's it. That's it. I'm talking about posting with direction, making phone calls, using e-carrier check, using DAT, truck stop 123. Stop using it as a load board to search for loads. Use it for a load board to find a network. Look past all that. Well, how are people still eating? How are the grocery stores still full? How is stuff moving? How are there drop trailers all over the place with just random carriers' names in the parking lot that have nothing to do with 90% of the brokers that you see on the load board? How did they get that? Why am I not getting that? What makes them different than me? They're human. They ate breakfast this morning probably. They took their kids to school. Some are higher on the food chain, some are not. Anyways, so if you guys need help, just call the number. Have a really great day. I'm not going to get into anything different. Sticking to the script. I hope you guys like the information. I hope you guys go through and pay attention to it. I hope you don't get bored. It's very important in it, and this is what people are doing. They know what their enemies are doing. They have a business plan, and they're networking through what other people aren't doing, and they're researching what they should be doing through customers, or they're making phone calls. You're doing it both ways is what I mean. If you're not, then this is why you're living in a cave. Network. Build a team. If you look over your shoulder right now and you have no team, even with the people that you're working for, you should be calling Shaggy's Consulting Group. Using our compliance, our equipment financiers, our insurance, Cornerstone, all those guys. Thunder. Because all these people we work with are always here for you. Peace out, guys. Hope you guys like it. I'll see you Wednesday at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk about the second half. Now, I got the freight. I got the net. I got the volume. What do I do with it? How do I get people to come to me to lease on? How do dispatchers get clients with the product they build now? How do I get owner operators? Because before it never worked because they didn't stay long, they were crap, they always fucked up my authority. What is your system to maintain your carriers and owner operators to service the product that you're working so hard to build? That's Wednesday. Peace out.